Okay, welcome everyone back to another episode of the Walking with Jaguars podcast. Today I have a very special guest. And he's my good friend Steven, and he's a descendant of Spartans. He's a
Yes.
firefighter. He's a reality TV personality. He's an ayahuasca drinker. He's a retreat and space holder. And most importantly, he was my neighbor for a few months.
Yes.
So here
That's
we
the
are.
best part.
Is there anything I missed? Is there any labels you tag on yourself? Any identities you like sitting in?
No, I think you hit pretty much everything. That was great introduction.
I mean, I know you well, so it feels like it's easy to
Yeah.
do, Um, yeah, there's so many things I want to talk about with you, and like I really appreciate like the journey that you've been on, and the insights you have and the way that you navigate life these days. And I want to deep dive into the wonderful world of plant medicines and spiritual growth and all these things. But like any good ceremony, we got to go dark before we go light. You know, you,
Okay, I
you
like
gotta
that.
you
I
gotta
like
earn the
that.
light and earn the medicine. So one day, Steve was over at my place and he was explaining, or he was just like telling the story of his experience on Big Brother. And to this day, it's still one of the craziest things I've ever heard. And I would love for you to just share a bit of the story of like what led you to like want to pursue that, and then also like the lead up to it, and then like what it actually entailed.
All right. Wow. Okay. Well, first of all, like I never really watched the show. I don't watch TV. I just saw this random man. I'm like, okay, oh wow, this looks cool. I'm like, auditions. I'm like, okay, Big Brother, whatever. At that point, I'm like, okay, I'll just throw in my audition. Um, that first year, I wasn't a great fit for the cast, but it was good because it was like COVID year and it got canceled halfway. The second year, I had a girlfriend, and the third year, they call me back like, "Hey, are you single?" I'm like, "Oh, yes, I am." I'm like, "Okay, you're coming on this year." I'm like, "Holy shit, okay, like, what the fuck is going on?" So, anyways, I go to this basically I fly out of Montreal to Toronto. It's filmed in Toronto in this like warehouse. Like basically they build a house within a warehouse. So it's not like a real house. Fly out there, you land. The first thing they do, they take your phone away. So your life is like you're like disconnected from life from there. And then they lock you up in a hotel room for like 3 weeks. To the point that like they're like blocking the peephole so you can't even see what's going on in the hallway. If you pick up the hotel phone, it goes straight to production. So basically, I'm living in this like room for 3 weeks, cooking my own food and everything, minimal contact with humans. And then the last week, they remove the TVs because the commercial starts and they don't want to see who you're competing with. It's kind of like a very everything's very very secret. And I'm like, okay, and now you're stuck in this room, no TV, just you yourself. And at that point, they even took out all your books and all that. It's literally like almost they're like trying to get you going crazy already. I'm like, okay, this is getting wild. So like I'm in my room, I'm trying to get fresh air. So like I'm literally opening these little hotel windows, putting my head outside to get some fresh air. I'm like, holy shit. Anyways, and then when the day comes, they kind of throw you in this game. You walk in with these people. Complete stranger. This is like really the first one when you meet them. You throw into this game. First of all, the moment you walk in, it's like these bright lights everywhere. Like that's like a studio, right? So like everything's so bright. There's like, and there's no cameraman. It's all cameras on the wall. I think there's like 200 cameras that just move around, and then they have like double-sided mirrors, which they have the people walking behind. And then you walk in and it's literally like cameras everywhere. And I'm like, I've never done this before. I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck is going on? Like, I'm like nervous and like scared. I'm like, what is going on here? Anyways, and then the contestants start coming in and then the game begins, Big Brother. Um, it was probably one of the wildest experiences and most weird and most emotional roller coaster that I've ever experienced. It was like everything in one package. First of all, there's no contact with the world. Okay, you have no phone, there's no TV, there's no windows, so you don't know if it's day or time or nighttime outside. The only humans you see is the people you're playing the game with. And like put the big picture. Like I've never watched this show. Oh, actually, this is what I forgot to mention. They gave me a DVD during my sequester, the 3 weeks. Like, you should maybe watch an episode to know how to play the game. I'm like, whatever. So I'm like playing in the background while I'm cooking, whatever. I'm like not even paying attention. So I walk in this, and half of these people are like super fans. They've watched like the American, the Canadian, the UK one, and like they're using all these acronyms during the game and like these names and stuff like that. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? They're like using the word pawn that means something backdoor. I'm like, what is going on? So for the first 2 weeks, I'm just in there trying to figure out how to play this game. I felt like I was just like a random thing that was there and like had like no sense in the game. And anyways, so basically the way it works is like you're doing like competitions weekly. So basically there's a household. So like you win this competition, you become the head of household, HOH, which basically you're the guy that's gonna pick two people to put on the block. And at the end of the week, the house votes who goes home. But between that, there's competitions. Like it's called the POV, the power of veto. So those two people that are on the block plus three other people get to compete, and whoever wins the power of veto could actually pull themselves off. Or if somebody else wins it, they could pull somebody off, and I got to put somebody else. So yeah, and these competitions are like they're wild. Like on TV, you don't see much, but like some of them went on for like 5-6 hours. And it's like crazy mental and like physical games. Like one of them, like they had to hang on a wall. I think it was like 6 hours or something like that. And like you're hanging, holding pegs on a wall that's like slanted, and like they're throwing cold water on you. They're like fucking throwing shit at you. And then at the end, you can't use your feet. So for like at the end, when there's like a couple people left, you're just hanging there. You're like trying to survive. And it's a bunch of competitions like that. Throughout the game, everybody's lying. So there's only one winner. So like people were coming in pretending they're married. They're wearing like fake rings. People lying, like full blown lying about their occupation. We had a doctor in there that was a marine biologist. I'm like, great. So like everybody's lying, everybody's backstabbing everybody. It's just like such a sleazy game. You're having conversation with people. You're like, it sounds so true, but like, how good are you at lying? Like this might be all a fucking lie this guy's telling me. So yeah, it's a lot of that throughout the game, and then production fucks with you. So basically, example, where let's say we're 12 people in the house, they'll lock you up in a room. They have control of all the doors. They'll lock you up for like, I don't know, like 3 hours in there, and like you're just chilling with like these 12 people in a room talking, whatever. And then they release you in the house, and then you go out. There's like 10 chairs, 10 plates, 10 utensils, 10 cups, or like, and then everybody's like, holy shit, is it a double elimination tonight? And then they lock you up in another room a couple hours later, and then you come back and everything's back to normal. And you're like, okay, what's
They're
going
like
on
just
here?
fucking with you.
100%. And then like everybody's like tripping. It's like, what the hell? What's going on? This and this and that. And there's just a bunch of these little things that go out throughout the game. Um, and then there's like, so we had an access to the outside, but like when they're setting up for competition, sometimes you wouldn't have access to the outside for like 5 days straight, example. So you don't see sunlight nighttime. Like you don't have no idea what's going on outside. There could be like a freaking hurricane. You don't even know, okay? You're locked in this house playing this game. And then we get access to the outside, but like at some point we're going like so delusional that we thought the sky, because there's like these 30-foot walls, so you couldn't see around you could just see the sky. First of all, every bird that was passing had a name. For some reason we were giving them names, but then at one point we thought this was a simulation. Like, what if that's a screen up there and it's not even real? Like they got to that point, people were losing their minds. And yeah, and you just keep competing every week, and like physical competitions, and then they'll like throw in twists, like an extra competition this weekend, somebody's getting eliminated tonight. And like fuck it, I just remember my nervous system going I'm like, holy shit, this is wild. And like it's such an intense game. And like, the way I related to it, it's so funny. It's like, example, like I'm a firefighter, and like we spend 24 hours there and then we sleep there, but like in reality, like you're not really sleeping, because like your mind is always awake, right? Because you're like, okay, the phone's might ring, I might have to jump on a truck, and like next thing you know, you're in a burning building. But it was that for 3 months long. It was literally, okay, going to bed. Okay, tomorrow I gotta talk to this guy. This guy's a piece of shit. Oh, this person's probably lying. Okay, I gotta do this. And so like you're never really sleeping. And I don't know how long they make you sleep, because they tell you when to go to bed and they wake you up. There's like this voice that comes on, the Big Brother voice they call it, and it's like, "Good night, house guests. Time to go to bed." And then in the morning they do this clock, and everybody wakes up. And then the next day you wake up and right away it's like I gotta play the game. And if you skip one day, you're like 10 days behind because it's just so fast in there. Like it's so fast. Um and yeah, like it's just nonstop for 3 months. So like you're like completely like disconnected. You're like a freaking robot. You're like in a simulation within a simulation. That's literally what this game is. It's wild, man. It's so wild.
3 months. Like, and when I think about, like, these time spans, like, people, like, tell themselves, like, "I'm gonna do something," for, like, "I'm gonna, like, work out every day for 3 months," or, like, and people, like, slip and you fail, and one of the things is, like, doing, like, the dietas. It's like, you can't cheat. It's 3 months fully, you know what I mean? Like, every second of the day, and it's, like, the same thing for you. You're, like, in there 3 months. It never ends. Like, to actually live 3 months is a ridiculous amount of time, and then to do that with, like, no windows just, like, blows my mind, dude.
was I was so disconnected. Like I thought this was my new reality. I thought this was real. This is life. And then like there would be moments like I'll go lie down on the couch or whatever, and I'll start like thinking. I'm like, holy shit! I got a mom. I have a dad. Holy fuck! I have a job. Wait, this is not real. This is a game. We're playing a game. This is not real. So that's how lost you get in there. And it's like it's almost like the concept of the game is that it's like a social experiment. Like they want you to be like so lost in the game that you think this is real. And man, when I was having these moments, I was like full blown panic attack. I'm like, holy fuck, I got a dog, I got a mom, I got a dad. People are watching like 24/7, and the cameras roll 24/7. You can watch us on the internet at night, and then there's 3 episodes a week, and like the Thursday it's a live episode. It's like nonstop, and it's like, wow, okay,
Uh-huh.
they got me.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Yeah.
Do you ever forget about the cameras, like, when you're in there? Because 'Cause you're just like it's mass surveillance, like, the entire time,
Uh-huh.
right? Like, every room.
Oh yeah, there's nowhere you could hide besides the shitter. And the shitter is literally like a 3 by 3 room with a toilet, and that's it. And if you're more than 10 minutes in there, they start like talking to you. They're like, Gino, you gotta get out of there because whatever. It could be for medical reasons. But every single corner, like even when you're in the shower, there's like frosted glass, they're watching you. Like there's like clips of you like taking a shower and stuff. And then those cameras run 24/7. So when you log in online at night, they're watching you too. So like you would go online and they'll see like videos of us like sleeping. Like people are watching us sleep. Like that's how insane it is. Like me walking my yeah, it's so weird. But like at some point you do forget about the cameras. But I would remember the weight of the mic because it's a live show, there's live feeds, and like I was always worried that I would slip up words that I didn't want to say. But like, like I like to fuck around. I say words like I'm offside sometimes. But like, you don't want to be offside when it's like 24/7 because then that ends up on Twitter. Then you're this person. Oh, this guy is a fucking bad person. And next thing you know, you're a freaking terrible human being because you slipped once. So like I felt the weight of that, but I forgot about the cameras. Like the cameras I would forget, but then when I was speaking, like because I remember when I walked out the house when I got eliminated and I took it off, I almost like screamed because I'm like, like I could speak again. I could be me. Yeah, but it was
It's so crazy. I remember you were telling me, that, like you were saying, like, they, like, fuck with you, and, like, they do it to, like, make it entertaining, but you were saying that, like, sometimes they would, like, wake you up for breakfast, and it's, like, 3 in the morning.
yes. So like the live feeds was seeing, and then when I came out and I spoke to my mom, she's like, you guys thought you were eating lunch, but it was like 1 in the morning, or you guys were eating dinner, but it was fucking breakfast. Like you guys, you lose sense of time. Like time doesn't exist in there. There's like time is not there. So like yeah, it's how like that's how screwed up we were. Like our internal clock was like I don't know where it was.
It's so crazy, and, like, 3 months of that is just so insane, no fresh air, no sunlight, no circadian rhythm, no balance, and it was, like, just jacking up your nervous system at, like, every point in time, and I can just imagine, like, the people behind the, like, one-way mirrors just being like, "Hmm, how can we fuck with them?"
Literally. They're literally like I think they're like psychotic, and I think they get high off it because they like the things they made us do. It's like example. Oh, this is a cool one actually. So basically, we were like active, had a bad behavior in the house. So basically, they came in and they took out. So it's kind of like they do it on slop week too. So basically, you don't get food. They lock the fridge, so there's no food. they serve these like ingredients. It's like it's called slop. It's literally like dry ass, no flavored, like disgusting green goo. It's like you gotta mix it and everything. It literally looks like a green goo. And when you're on slop, you could be eating that for a week, no hot showers, so it's cold showers. And like, don't forget, we're in the middle of the winter in a like fucking studio. There's like no heating, like the heating was off so high sometimes, and some days it's like -5 in the house. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I think they were still fucking with us. I think they're doing it on purpose to make it cold some days, hot some days. And then you would be like a week like no hot shower and like eating that green stuff. So people would go like 2, 3 days no showering because they couldn't take a cold shower. And then like half of them were like gagging while they're eating, and like people were losing weight. I lost like 20 pounds on that show in 3 months.
That is fucking wild, man. That is wild. Yeah, it like I'd like seen Big Brother around. I'd never like really like followed like reality television. But when you were telling me this story, it was just like, man, I can see the darkness like in the collective consciousness of humanity, like loving to watch people just go mental. It kind of feels like your Greek roots. It's almost like the Colosseum of the modern day, you know. Everyone's like, wow, fuck them up.
Yeah, I can just picture people at home, but I can also picture like the production in the studio room, like with all the TVs and everything. It's like, this is amazing. Look at them suffer. You're like, this is dark. Yeah, no, it's great, man. Like it is so funny because like you would hear the cameraman sometimes in the back of the walls, and then you would hear like a crack of a soda can, or like the walls are talking.
Uh-huh. Oh man. That must just have been such a fucking distortion and warping of reality.
Yeah, yeah, man. Like honestly, like it really screws you up because like I came out of there and I was in therapy for a year. Like everybody goes through therapy. Like there's some people that are still in therapy, like from past seasons because of that experience.
Yeah. Yeah. So like what was it like coming back, And like what was that like process of like reintegrating back into what is like to some degree the real reality?
Yeah, so going from simulation to another simulation, it was for me. It was really hard, and it hit me like some people hit them later because they were such on a high from the show, especially like the super fans. They're like on a high of the show, and then you come out, and it's not like shows are like the other shows that are filmed like 3 months ahead of time, and then you have time to adjust and everything. It's literally like this is live, so like when you come out, like the show is finished on TV, so people know who you are. So like you're put into back into this world. First of all, it's basically like, here's your phone, have fun, take care. Hopefully you're okay. I was like, okay, what do I do next? I remember I had my phone in my hand and I couldn't see the screen. I was like, what the fuck? Like, how do I use this? And then you're put into this real world. And I remember like that first day, my mom, my sister had came down, and we went to a restaurant. I guess they had reserved something for us. And I remember walking like in a shopping center to get to that restaurant, and I was like full blown panic attack, like other humans. I'm like, this is not normal. Like, well, why is there other people around me? And it's like everything was so loud, and like people are like already recognizing you, so they're coming up to you. And like I'm a very introverted guy, so like it was too much. I'm like, no, 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 no. So I was kind of losing my shit. And then basically they kind of these alumni, they create this weekend is basically to reintegrate everybody coming out of every season. So every season, the last day you come out, and it's like a whole weekend you spend with the alumni. And like they kind of like have events planned. You go to Niagara Falls, and like we're playing activities and like parties, drinking, which is probably the worst thing, drinking when you're all fucked up. Um, and yeah, I remember like that whole weekend, and like it's funny because everybody kind of knew each other because like they watch each other. And I'm like meeting all these new faces, but they know me, I don't know them, and like I feel bad because I'm like I should probably know you. You won like a previous season and stuff like that. So like a clueless duck just walking around, and like all this like anxiety and like nervous system is all screwed up, and like panic attacks. And yeah, I was like, and it was that for like months after for me, like months, months, months. And then some people it hit them later, like 3, 4 months later, they had that crash. But me, it was like instant, and it wasn't getting better. I was like questioning everything, questioning myself, like almost like depression, like very down, and like yeah, it was tough. It was really tough. Then I went to therapy. Therapy wasn't fucking helping.
Oh, I can only imagine. Like the therapy doesn't do anything. you know? And like, I actually had a conversation with Sarah Connolly yesterday. And one of the things we were saying with like the therapy is like, to some degree, like when you're all fucked up, you need to like realign yourself and like get your consciousness straight and like start resonating at like another level that allows like spirit and that all to come in, you know? And like these therapists, like they're trained in like asking questions, but like them as individuals, like they don't have that. They're not people with like all this life experience necessarily. You know, they just have this piece of paper. So like I can imagine like it was hard having these people even try to bring you back because they're not even really playing the game themselves.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, and it's funny because now that I see through all that, I could actually, I could see through my own therapist, and now I could actually see like where she was operating or like where her wounds were from, and I'm like, holy shit! Like obviously I wasn't getting better because this girl's like kind of going through like her stuff and like trying to like go by the book and try to help me, but it wasn't helping. And it's funny that you say that because like when I had that shift, it's when I found the medicine. Like I've always been into the medicine before, but when I found that and I got into these courses, that's when I had to shift. And actually that big brother led me to like this whole path that I'm on right now, actually.
Oh, but that's always it. It's like there's the always the darkness before the light, you know? And like everyone has their stories, and like everyone who I know who's walking the path, like the story is always like life was fucked, or like I was sick, or like reality made no sense. Like that's the like the tension that was created to actually find the path, you know? So it makes sense that like, you know, those experiences and like trying to reorganize what reality actually is to yourself is like the thing that was like the push.
And it's funny too, because like whatever I accumulated from that experience, obviously being a firefighter for so many years already, like I've had all this baggage and all this suppression and all these like things that I'm already dealing with. And then it just like combined together and it like just got even darker. I was like, holy fuck. Like am I like clinically not good anymore? Like well, how am I gonna get out of this?
Is there a way out? That's always the funniest question, you know?
Like I really thought there was like no way out. Like that's to the point I got. I'm like, holy fuck, I'm stuck in here forever. Like this is the new me. Like this is the new Steven. I'm like, wow,
Oh.
this is gonna suck if this is it.
Gonna ride this one out for another 50 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Before we jump into to the medicine stuff, I'd love to hear like your experiences like being a firefighter. You know, like it's something that you know it's like just around and like everyone knows firefighters, but it's like to actually live that life. I'm really curious of like your perspective.
hmm Yeah, it's so interesting because like it was always like my love and passion. Like from a little kid, I was always like, it was like my dream. It sounds cheesy, but it was actually my dream. Like I used to love firefighter things. I used to see fire trucks. I'm like, wow, that's cool. But I thought it was like superheroes doing this job. I thought they weren't human. And then you grow up, you're like, holy shit, this is a job, and then it's fun. And then I remember when I signed up to school and I did my first year there, pre-service. I like completely right away I knew it. I fell in love with it. You know, like it was like purpose, passion, everything in like one thing and I was just having so much fun with it. And then obviously I got on so young too. I was 21 when I got hired, which is doesn't happen too often, but like it was such a rewarding job, but in the same time, the first like 3 4 years, I wasn't realizing what it was. It changes you, right? This job literally changes you whether you want it or not. But I didn't realize that in the first years because you're like, oh, this is fun. I'm like running to burning buildings, like but like while you're doing all that, like you're dealing with dead people every day, like some freaky shit that you don't want to see. Like it's just like accumulation, and then the lack of sleep, exposed to all these like cancerogens and like these like stressors and all that stuff. And then like it started catching up. Like I would say maybe year 5 on the job. I'm like, holy shit, okay, it's taking a toll now. And then that's when I kind of like had that big shift into like health and wellness, and like I really went hardcore because at that time too, I was like heavily drinking, using drugs, and all that stuff. Like, wasn't annoying, but I was numbing myself on my days off because of the job. Um, but before I get to even the dark spot of it, it's such a fun job. The way I explain it is literally like you're living in a house with your best buds, you're like cooking together, you're training together, you're cleaning, you're working out because it's like a house, right? There's a full blown kitchen, gyms, TV room, and all that. You're kind of all doing all that stuff. You guys are like fucking around, like doing jokes and this and that, like, and it's just such an atmosphere. And then when the bells ring, you just don't know what you're gonna face. It's like get on the truck. Next thing you know, you're in a building. Next thing you know, you're compressing on somebody's chest. The other time you're cutting somebody out of a car. It's like we're a jack of all trades. Like we're not just there to fight fires. It's probably like one of the least things we do. But like yeah, medical calls, even like stupid things like a cat stuck on a tree. We saved the cat on the tree. Like it's actually true. We do it. You get called to that, people have a flood in their basement and they don't know who to call. They call 911 and next thing you know, we show up, you know what I mean? So but it's such a fun job because you never know what you're gonna face. So like, yes, you get the basic training, but like I believe like firefighting is an experience job. Like you learn a lot of it, like doing it, because there's no two calls is the same. You might go to a house fire today and tomorrow it's a completely different house fire because of the conditions, winds, this, that, what's burning, what kind of structure it is. Like there's more than just like, oh, fire, put water on it. There's like a whole like strategy behind it. Like there's every rig is assigned a position, every firefighter is assigned a position. Like you're doing this, we're doing that, communications. It's literally like a big hockey team working together and like working different positions and everything gets communicated. It's all like organized. Um, but it's fun because it's like we're called when like you need us, right? Like you're not calling us because you're having a beautiful day. You're calling us because your fucking house is on fire, right? Or somebody just dropped in your house and is having a heart attack. So basically, like you're always getting there, and like it's what I loved a lot is the problem solving aspect. Like you get there, we have this, we have that. What are we doing? You kind of go through like what your basics training, the stuff but then you gotta adapt because like it's different. Every house is built differently. Every this is that. The fires conditions are different. So it's like you adapt, and you're cool doing cool shit. Like who the fuck runs in a burning building when it's on fire? Everybody's running out, right? So it's like you're going right in, and when you see the beast, it's like fuck yeah, it's like, it's so much fun. It's like there's actually a good podcast with Joe Rogan. He talks about like how we're like psychotic. We're like we're not right in our minds because the human nature is survival, right? Like people run out of like dangerous situations. They try to like get away from it. And we're running right in and we're going deep in there, it's like, yeah. And the thing is, we love it. Like, that's the fun part. It's like, if there's no fires, it's like, it's boring. But when there's a fire, it's like whether you're like 5, 10, 20 years on the job, it's like the butterflies are there. It's like, boys, this is the real one. We're going to work, it's like it's all that. And when you get there and you start working, you're in it, the adrenaline's going, like shit's falling on you, and like fires, like a lot of them, like when you go in, you can't even see your hand in front of your face. So it's all like a spatial awareness, like knowing your walls, like, okay, there's a window on this bedroom, if we have to jump out in case. It's like it's always your mind is always like on. It's like ding 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 ding, what's next, what's next. So that's the fun part of the job, and I love it to this day. But there's also there's the positive side of that. Like it's fun. It's like a brotherhood, sisterhood. But there's also like the dark sides that we don't speak about a lot, which now it's becoming more common that like they're talking about more. But it's like, you see shit that you're not supposed to see, right? Like when you're holding somebody's arm that's not on their body anymore, you're like, what the fuck? What do I do with this? Or you get like into a nasty car accident and like you're cutting up the car to take out like body parts, and like you see it all. We're like first responders too, so like cardiac arrest, suicides, you see people taking their lives and all that stuff. You like see it all. And like the thing is, like now that I understand more, like with doing this path and everything, like we accumulate all this energy without even knowing. And firefighters, especially men, we're very good at suppressing emotions. We don't want to deal with emotion. Push it down, tough it up, tough it up. But eventually all that builds up, and it's like one day it just fucks and blows up. And that's when, you see PTSD and like people like losing it and stuff like that. But yeah, there's a lot of shit we do that is not spoken about, and then we're all exposed to all these like cancers and stuff like that. Especially the way the houses are built these days. It's not like back in the days in the 50s, which is all natural wood and all that. And now it's all like glues and like plastics and heavy fuel in there. So yeah, there's obviously a dark side to it, but there's the fun part to it. It's not a regular career, right? It's fun, man. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, the only thing I have is like even a tether to like that kind of experience of like the brotherhood and stuff is like working in construction. you're not dealing with customers and you're not dealing with like just random bullshit. It's like every day is new. I mean, if you're working in like renovations in particular, and it's just like all the boys on site, and like you're just like getting the job done, and it's like just kind of fun, There's like no bullshit. But to do that at like the most extreme level of like all the boys just like getting set up in their suits and just like running into a burning house is like wild, man. That is wild. Yeah. I remember you were telling me like you'd have the call in like the middle of the night and you'd be like half asleep and you'd almost just like go into autopilot, and then like before you know it you're like coming out of a burning building, and like you just like crush the whole thing and you like weren't even really there for it.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It happens so many times too, and it's happened to me like several times, and it's like, yeah, it's just like this initial like almost like a shift in you, and then you fall into that autopilot. Like I've driven to calls, I'm like, how the fuck did I get here? It's like how did I know how to get here? And like that too, like you go from literally like sleeping to in the truck, radios are going, fire is confirmed, you're running to a burning building, and yeah, you come out at the end, you're like, holy fuck, I just did all that. You're like, holy shit. But yeah, autopilot is like it's so common, especially at night. It's like literally you're going from 0 to 100 in like a split second. And it's like, whoa, okay. It's yeah. But it's also the fun part too. But it's like I think that's where a lot of the stress comes from too. And like correlated to that because it's like you're not supposed to go from 0 to 100 every every time, like you're supposed to like, especially like you wake up in the morning, you get up, you have your breakfast, you have your coffee, get some sun, this and that. And that's just like phew.
Yeah, it's like an hour-long process to awaken. You're like in the building in 15 minutes. It's like
Yeah,
it's insane.
yeah, but yeah, no, it's fun, man. It's honestly it's been 10 years I do it, and I love every day, and especially now I have more appreciation for it too. It's a whole different game now, but it's fun. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I can definitely see like, like you were saying, like the accumulation of bullshit, like some of the things you've seen, it's like, man, people see that once in their life and it's like rough. But like often it's like to some degree it's loved ones, but still like on a day-to-day basis, and like I can see how like so much tension just like builds up inside the body and inside the nervous system, and like finding ways to like let that move. I can just imagine like people are just like ready to blow at any moment.
Yeah, and that's why it's so important to this job, and I think we're getting better at it too. Is like, because it used to be like, oh, you have a problem now, like you've blown up already, like okay, maybe you should do this as this. But now we're like more in a way that we're starting before we get to that point. We're kind of like, okay, like eating healthy is important, getting your quality sleep when you're not at work, supplementing properly, working out, taking care of your mental health. Like whether it's meditation, whatever it is. There's so many things now that we could do. I still don't think we're at that level that we should be at, like even having like a conscious mechanics course, like understanding the mind, like how's it operating and stuff like that is already a big up. um like I've gotten really good at that because like I'm like I needed this shift like 5 years ago, and I'm like I started integrating all these little things, like cold plunges, red light therapy, like grounding myself in the morning, getting some sunlight in me, like making sure I'm not on my off days drinking every day. I don't really drink anymore. You know what I mean? Like and then my workouts have changed too. It used to be like very like muscle stuff. Now it's like really getting the heart going, getting out, doing activities. I think recovery is like the most important part too, especially with the lack of sleep and like what our bodies go through. And just like kind of like resetting your nervous system is so important. So yeah, I think that's become like my huge priority now. So, and that shift, I could actually feel it at work now. I'm more ready, more like present, and more. I feel like on my days off, like I'm recuperating a lot faster than what I used to. And I was younger. Now it should be the opposite, right? You're older, it takes longer to recuperate. But now I figured out like the cheat code to like recuperate way faster.
Uh-huh, uh-huh, yeah. And just for like anyone who's listening and not watching, like Steve is jacked out of his mind. He's in like absolutely incredible shape. And I started going to the gym with him for a little bit. I like just got off a 1 year dieta and lost 30 pounds. And like I did not have 30 pounds to lose. And just like he's just a machine, you know? I'd love for you to like kind of talk about the importance of like physical training as like a man and as someone who like does what you do.
Yeah, well, like, look, honestly, it's not just for the job. It's just like your overall health and longevity, right? Like they say, like store the most nutrients in our muscles, so like, why not have the most muscle mass, lean muscle mass as possible? Um, but if it's also has helped me like in my everyday life, like just like simple tasks. Like if you're walking up your stairs and you're gasping for air, you should probably start questioning, like, okay, maybe I should have a little shift here and like probably work on that. And over the years, like not just like the strength training, but I've also like I'm a big believer of like cardiovascular training. So like having a mix of both for your own self is like it's so beneficial and for longevity. And also like I've shifted my workouts too. Like I used to like want to be the biggest guy, the most jacked guy. Now I'm like more focused on like longevity, like joint health and all that stuff. So like the movements are a lot less aggressive than what I used to do. But at the same time, just by compounding that and being consistent with it, you do look jacked. You do like the muscle mass builds and like you get that shape. It's just like the byproduct of doing that consistent work. And it's helped me so much at work. Like things are a lot easier than when they should be hard. My everyday life, like just simple things like lifting stuff and like going upstairs or like doing some work around the house, like or whatever it is, it's just you're just that much more, efficient, I find. And I think like being efficient and everything is like it's super important. It's just like any kind of work, right? But it's what I've also like have shifted. It's not just like the being strong, being active and all that, but I've also really focused on like the internal, like the gut, what's going into my system. Like, am I eating all these like freaking pesticides and all that? Like, I've gone like full blown organic. Red meat diet is huge. So much vitamins in there. So like I've shifted to that. It's all these like little things that go all together that just pretty much like elevates like your human experience, right? Like you're just that much more efficient, like it's nothing is as hard as what it should be, you know what I mean? It's actually easier. It's kind of like my concept around that. Um, so yeah, and training for me is also an outlet too, like where I could go and just like zone in and like get out of my mind if so those days that are like, you lose control of it, kind of come out, just tune into your body and really like get the work in. But yeah, no, it's been a great part of my life for sure. You did a great job actually when we're working out together. You were pushing. It was nice to see.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'll survive, you know? Yeah, I just remember like, I've like hung out with people who are like in good shape before, and like they worked out really well, but like seeing the way that like you navigate your life in like that holistic way of like everything was like really inspiring, and I remember like even you coming over and we did a Cambo ceremony and I served Cambo on you. And I was like, just take your shirt off. Like it'll just be easier that way. And it's just like 8 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday, It's just like six pack, just chilling. I was like, holy fuck, man. It's epic, man. Yeah. Okay. Let's dive into the beautiful mystical world of like the light and the medicines. I'd love to hear like how you found psilocybin and how it like started to take shape in your life.
hmm So I had found it like a few years ago. But like again, I was just like using it with no like protocol and like not knowing what it is. I was just taking it like as a microdose and thinking like, oh, okay, this makes me feel better, whatever it is. And I've like used it recreationally, like in the past with friends, like going camping and stuff. When I came out of Big Brother, actually, one of my buddies referred me to this guy, and I got into this conscious mechanics course. Ryan Vera, and I did some work there while we were microdosing, and I saw a whole different aspect of like how the medicine is actually used as medicine and like a tool and not a crutch. Because I was really using it as a crutch. I'm like, this makes me feel better. I'm gonna use it. But at the end, when I was off it, it was like I was back to normal. But now I really got in, like during that course, I really got in tune with it and like used it the way it should be used and use it as a tool, and that really like kind of like opened things up for me. I'm like, holy shit, okay, so this is how it works, and I could actually change myself. And this is like coming out of Big Brother, right? I'm still fucked up. And I'm like, wow, okay, like now I'm starting to see things within myself. The noise is quieting, like I can really like back in and like start seeing everything. And then it just like from there, it kind of like went deeper and deeper and deeper. Started doing some like dojo flood doses. Like, and I remember when I had my first click, it took me a while because I have like a strong mind. The mind was like gripping on everything and didn't want to let me go to that space. It's like, no, 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 you're staying here. And I remember when I had my first click, man, it was so dark before getting to that click. It was like I'm like seeing things that I don't want to see. And I'm like trying to push it away and it's coming back. And then I remember when I had that click, it was like my whole body like disappeared. And I'm like, and I remember that cosmic laugh that I had, like I was fucking dying of laughter. And then just like the amount of information that's in that field, I'm like, holy shit, like everything's here. And I'm just like having this whole experience. And then from that moment on, that's when I'm like, okay, like now if I actually do it the right way, like I could actually, start changing myself, like as who I am. And it just led to going even deeper, which eventually led me to sitting with Mother Ayahuasca. And that's when like the real work started. Like before that, it was more like mind stuff, like kind of like pushing the mind around and like understanding it. And this was like, oh my God, ayahuasca was like next level. It was like that times 10, um, but it was the same thing. Like when I got into my first ayahuasca ceremony, same thing. Like I wasn't it taught me so much too because I wasn't getting that full experience. Like I'm hearing everybody like getting all these like crazy experiences, and I'm like, I was still like I'm like trapped in my mind, and it's like my mind really didn't want to let go. And then I was getting like angry at myself. I'm like, why can't I get there? And then I started questioning everything. Like, this is fake. This is not real. This is like, this is a work. And I remember she kind of like built me up, and she was showing me like, be patient, like let go and this and that. And like, I'm a very type of guy like I want it now. Like I want something, I want it now, instead of just like sitting and like being with it. And like she led me up, and then the fourth night she got me really good. She took me, and I just remember it, and it hit me so fast too. Like I was gone within like 20, 30 minutes. I was like, phew. And oh my God, like where I traveled, I can't even explain it in words. Showed me so many things. I literally hanged out like this is like you don't get this in therapy. Like it's literally I got to hang out with my inner child for like 2 hours long. I was like hanging out with him, crying, laughing, purging, crying, laughing. Like I felt like a kid again. And like it felt so real. Like it's almost like he was literally like there with me, and like I was having all this whole experience. And I remember coming out of that night, I'm like, holy shit, like this is it. This is where it happens. Um, and then I remember like the integration part was like such a beautiful thing because like I was like kind of like seeing like more parts of myself that I wasn't seeing or just I didn't want to face, which led to like seeing some wounds that were coming from like my mother's side, my dad's side, and this and that. And then I did like a lot of work, and then I went to sit again, and then one of my last times, like we were talking earlier, like I had a full blown heart surgery. I was like, what is going on? That I still remember every single bit of that ceremony, and it led me up because like first night was super intense. Second night it was like more soft. It's kind of pulling me in. Third night I'm like getting in tune with it. I'm like starting to sound like oh shit. Like I'm starting to build because I didn't have the relationship with her. The first ceremony she kind of just took me and like send me off. But this, I was like kind of like tuning, almost like I was talking with her. I was like tuning in with her and like being with her, and like and then she was bringing me to spaces that I needed to see, come back, and then she was like very like beautiful, like soft, like still showing me darkness, but like in a soft. And I was like pouring my love into it and like coming back, like these clicks were happening. And then my last night, it was like because obviously like I've had like hard time like feeling emotions, all that. Like I've suppressed myself for so long. It comes from wounds. But at the same time, like 10 years of firefighting, it's like we're just suppressing, suppressing, suppressing. And I was so numb. Like I was like numb, like no feeling. Like it would leak into my relationships with like family, girlfriends, whatever it is. And even the relationship with myself, like I like to be honest, I had no love for myself. Like I felt like very unworthy, and like people think, oh, this guy's living the best life. He's traveling, this and that. Like he's big on social media. Behind all that, I was like empty. I was like, there's numbness, like no connection, no nothing. And when I had that first pop there, my first ever ceremony, it kind of showed me, but I knew there was a lot more. And then my very, very last ceremony, the fourth night, like full blown heart surgery. I'm like, we're sitting in this dark room. And then I remember Sita sitting in front of me. She's whatever doing her carols. And I just like, who the fuck opened? Like at one point, I'm like, who the fuck opened the lights? Like it's so bright. And I'm like, wait a second, there's no lights in here. I'm like, I'm like, okay, I'm like, okay. I looked down and I remember just seeing my chest like wide open. I'm like, and beam of light is coming out, and then I just see like, it sounds crazy, but like, tentacles come in, and like, and I'm like feeling them in me. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, what is this? And then at one point, my arms were like wet, 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 like dripping. I'm like, what the fuck? Is it raining in here now? And I look and I'm like, wait a second, there's a roof here. It's not raining. It is impossible it's raining here. And then I remember touching my face. And at this point, I'm like laughing. Like I'm like full of joy. I'm like, wow, like I'm feeling things. I'm touching my face drenched. And so it's like pouring all over me. I'm like, holy fuck, holy fuck, holy fuck. And then I'm like just trying to like be the observer of like this whole experience of what's happening. And then like sadness starts coming. So now I'm like crying of sadness. And then anger comes up. I'm like fucking angry, and then joy comes back, and I'm laughing. And this felt like going on for like hours, but it's probably like just like maybe 10 minutes. And I'm going, I'm feeling all these things. And then when she finished her carols, I just remember everything closed. And every single breath till this day, like when I breathe and I tune into my breath, like I could feel it just every breath was like I'm like, holy fuck. I was like, biggest smile on my face. I was like, I got somebody beside me that's like absolutely just purging, like going through hell. I'm like here laid back, smoking my mapacho. I was like, wow. And that lasted for me to like this day. Like it's still like a vivid memory, and it showed me so much. Um like I thought feeling was just like some you either have it or not, but like everybody has it. I just had numbed myself so much over the years. And now like I just kind of remember that feeling that I had in ceremony, and I bring it back wherever I am. I'm like, I go play sports, I'll bring it there. Like find the joy for the sport again. Like you love playing this. It's fun. Have fun. It's like my inner childhood, my inner child is coming out and playing with me. Going to work. Stop thinking of like, oh, you want to leave, like you want to leave the country. Enjoy work. Have fun. Like be present. Like this is fun. This is what you worked for your whole life. And then like hanging out with friends and this and this and that. Like tell them you love them. Like fuck. Like let your expressions out. It's just like a chain reaction of everything. And it's just man, it changed my life. And it's still to this day I still have like these clicks. I was like, oh yeah, this is it. Okay, I gotta shift this within me. And yeah, yeah, it was wild.
Yeah. It's such an amazing experience, and like I'm so happy that it all clicked for you too. And the thing, like you said, like you brought up a really good point with like the relationship. It's like these medicines. It's all about relationship. You know, like it isn't just some molecule that like it creates this experience. You know what I mean? You have to like earn it. You have to trust her. You have to like build that relationship like you would with a friend. It doesn't happen instantly. And a lot of people come to the medicine and it's like it could be expensive to drink medicine too. And people come and they just like they start just stewing. It's like, oh, but I'm not getting the experience. I'm not getting what I paid for, all of this. And the thing is like the weekends are like, 3, 4, up to I don't know, 10. I've done like a 10-day ceremony. And it only takes 15 seconds to change your life. You know what I mean? Like like, you're there for
It's so
4
true.
days, but it's like it's just this tiny little window where everything opens, and it's just like, "Ah, okay, I'm in?" And, the transformation it makes in people is just, like, unbelievable, and I just see it time and time again. Like, I've been in, like, the wellness space for, like, a long time, and, like, I've explored a lot of different avenues, and there's just something about ayahuasca that is just so different and so special, where the expansion that happens is so it's so vivid and it's so profound. There is no going back, you know? But what's on the other side of that is like a life of emotion and joy and like presence, and like sensation and feeling. Whereas like at least for me, up until that point in my life, It was like it was all in my head, you know? Like I'd never even left my mind for a second, you know? And it's like, "Ah, finally," you know? The breath comes in.
Yes, it's like you know you're gone from it. And you're like, oh wow. It's like it's just so crazy. It shows you how powerful like we have like this complex machine, right? And it's just so powerful to keep you in there. And like the moment you could actually back away from it and actually like just be the observer and like just look at it. Um and like during the ceremony is the same thing too. There's like that feeling of being there. It's like I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it's just like I can breathe. Why am I stuck in here? You know, it's like this is the real me.
Yeah, what an amazing thing to like see what's behind your face, you know? To like know who that person is, you know?
Yeah, it's so interesting too, because like it actually teaches you so much too about your own mind and like how it operates, and then like where your programs are coming for. Like just having that like I guess call it the click, like really coming out of it. And when you come back in it and you start like still operating in your like everyday life, like now you understand it more. Like you're actually it's like you're building that relationship with your own mind, like you haven't been doing for like my fucking past 25 years of my life. I'm like, oh, this is me. This is it. You know, like this, the mind, the voice, this, that's really me.
There was no relationship with the mind, you know, where it's like
Exactly. Right.
I'm actually the awareness and I'm like trying to like, you know, balance this thing out, you know, you're just living in the chaos. And then especially like, you know, listening to your story of like all uh the emotions being felt at like such a high magnitude, you know, during the ceremonies, and it's like we all have so much of that inside of us. It's just locked up, you know, like all the like the trauma and the sadness and everything that we couldn't express, you know. And when we look at like the Lakota traditions, you know, of like the natives up in like South Dakota up into like Western Canada, they say like the ultimate medicine is like laughter and tears, you know?
Yeah, it is. It's so
It's like
true though.
it's the thing that like breaks up all the concrete that's inside of us of just like all this trapped energy and bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's so interesting, man. It's such a beautiful path, and I feel like there's just so much more. I guess there's like it never stops. You could see more, and more, and more, and more. But that's why like I'm very like super interested in like actually getting on a planned diet and actually like sitting with those plant teachers and actually like go even deeper with it. It just my life right now is just like not aligning right now, but the calling is there. I know the calling is there. It's been calling me since like I was in Costa Rica with you. I'm like, I gotta do one. I gotta do one. So I think it's gonna be the next step in the medicine path for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely like it's an epic path once you start getting into the dietas, but you're like 100% right where you do have to have your life orchestrated in a certain way that allows like that container to happen, you know? Like you have to live so quietly and so peacefully and like you can't touch anyone, you know? So it's like people who are like acupuncturists and stuff, like they can't if that's how they make their money to stay alive, like they can't really diet because they can't stop working, you know? And if you're like on diet, you can't be running into burning houses.
Yeah, right. Or touching dead people every day. Like you can't.
It's you just can't do it. So to some degree, you do have to align it, you know? And, like, I really believe, like, there's always seasons too, you know? Like, there's seasons for, like, going inwards deep, and then there's seasons for, like, taking big action externally, you know? And, like, I know it'll come for you eventually, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I like it's funny you say that because like my season right now, like I know I'm externally, I'm like creating this whole everything right now, like my online stuff, like having fun with DJ, like, you know, like all that stuff. I'm like kind of like building everything, so it allows me eventually to just be in a state where I could just, you know, walk away from firefighting, this and that, and just do it eventually. You know what I mean?
For sure, for sure. And there's no rush too, you know? Like, I'm gonna be drinking ayahuasca to the day I die, like, without a doubt, you know? And I'm gonna be dieting until the day I die. Like, my retirement plan is just to diet, you know? Like, that's already locked in. Like, I already know I have a good 20 years of dieting up there somewhere, but like, just get them in while I can for now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing that's like really cool with Steven is he has like an amazing group of boys, that he like walks this path with. And like they all came out to ceremony and like they're all drinking and like they're just so sick. And I got the chance to like meet up with a couple of them a few weeks ago. And I just forgot how wonderful your crew is. They're just such like joyous people and like curious people and sensitive people and all jacked out of their minds, which is even better. I'd love to hear your take on like the importance of brotherhood in your life because that's definitely there deep for you.
Yeah, we've spoken about this in the past. It's so, and I don't know if this is like maybe from like my Greek roots or something like that. Like we're very community based. But like half of like I would say like 70% of my friend group, maybe even 80%, like we know each other from like 5, 6 years old, and we're like 30s in our 30s right now. We're still friends. We're like we play pickleball like on days off. We travel. We do this and this and that. And it's such something that for me like it was a big important part of my life because like I hear like these stories like people like change friend groups like whether it's like going from elementary, high school, college, this work. And then when people hear like you're still friends with your guys from like 5 years old, it's like, yeah, man, we still go hard every day. Like we're like, it's like we never miss a beat. And just having that sense of community and like the boys and like kind of the tribe, you know what I mean? Um, it allows you to like walk. It allowed me personally to like a walk easier through life. You know what I mean? Because like we're very open with each other. Like whether it's like relationship, this, how we're feeling and stuff like that. Like we pour each other out, and it's good to have like um I guess like that community where you could go and like just be yourself and like, yeah, man, I'm having a terrible day, this and this and that. And it's just so beautiful to still see we have this at like 32 years old and we're still at the same playing field. Um, and it's funny because like now three of us has been a while, like we've been doing the path and now like everybody's interested. So like we're running men's retreats and we work with like psilocybin and we had like most of the boys coming. There's just a few they're still like scared of it, but like now they're all on the path and now like they're all like having these massive shifts and like changing. And like I remember how they were like 10 years ago, like when we were like in this party phase and like drugs, alcohol, this, that. And everybody has this massive shift and like just like finding themselves and like understanding their minds and like getting more into like wellness and health. And it's like we're growing together. Like we're not stopping until we die. Like we're gonna be in our deathbeds, like fucking smoking our last cigar, being like, I remember these days, like going through all this stuff together. And I think it's just so beautiful having like people that you trust like that in your life. And it's hard to find these days, like you can't just like talk to anybody. It's like, okay, I could be fully trusted with this guy. It's like, man, this is like 30 years of like 25 years of like building relationship, like deep knowing each other. Like we know each other's flaws, which we still use it against each other. We like kind of like talk shit, that's what friends are for. But we've seen like all our successes too, and like where we came from and where we're at now. And it's like it's such a beautiful journey to have that. And it's like I'm so grateful, and like I would never change one thing about that. I think like if you wanted to take everything out of my life, it's that one thing I wouldn't lie. It's that and family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, it's almost like it's almost hard for me to like understand to some degree how you've pulled that off over the span of decades because like every time like we were talking about before like I had like my primary school friends and my high school friends and my university friends and like the problem is that like it seems like everyone's taking different paths. And that's kind of what separates you over time, but the fact that you guys are all running in like a straight line together is so sick you know
It is. And it's funny because like example, you would have like one of us that like, I don't know, like had a leap, but we're not leaving them there. It's like, come on, boys, this it is. And then somebody else will have a leap. It's like, here's the rope, come on. It's like it just feels like it's that throughout life. Because like we all have a bit of a different path to like whatever, like career wise and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we still have like that stepping stone where we're all there, you know? It's like whether you're doing this, that, or you're living here, there, it's like we never missed a beat, and we're just trying to pull each other up. It's so cool. So cool.
And I see that, and it's in every domain in life too, you know? Like, you guys are all hustling, you're all in great shape, you all, like, eat healthy, you're all, like, starting to walk the plant medicine path and everything, and, like, it's so sick, man. It's so sick. I don't know how you pulled that off, honestly. It's like,
I don't even know either. Yeah, I don't even know. It just happened, you know. We just, I guess, stayed true to ourselves and valued our relationships, and we just kept it going. And yeah, I think it's got to be like a Greek thing too, because I feel like Greek is very like community based, you know, like a think of it like we when we started migrating like into like the Western world, like when they were leaving like during the civil wars and all that stuff, like they came and they stayed together, you know, like all the Greeks stayed together. Like you go to Montreal, there's a Greek area. You go to Toronto, there's Danforth Greek area. It's like even here in Laval, there's like a Greek area. It's like, and I think that plays a big role too. But I think we did it. I think, well, I gotta give each other a pat on our shoulder. We did a good job to keeping it together, you know, for all these years.
for sure, and I can see you guys running it till the end, you know? Like, you're all on the path. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and it's been, like, really inspiring, like, you know, with both you and, like, Marcos for me, like, seeing how much you, like, love your connection, like, back to your homeland, you know? And, like, for me, it's like I, like, grew up in Australia, and, like, my family is basically, like, as white Australian as you can get, you know, with, like, generations. Like, we were on both sides, they were, like, coming in the early days, you know? But, like, I'm not Australian, you know what I mean? Like, my lineage is not Australian, like, we're not, like, the indigenous there. I have, like, almost no connection to my homeland. And, like, seeing the way that you and Marcos, it's like every year you go back to, like, the motherland, you know? I'd love to hear, like, how, like, that has shaped you, like, understanding your roots.
Yeah, and I think it's like it's super important. Like if you know your roots, like I'm a big believer of like keeping it, like get into the traditions, like explore that your culture. Like even though you like you're detached because you're living here in Canada, like it's still part of you. Like it runs in you, right? It's like that energy is still there. It's like connect to it. Like go learn more about the culture. Go learn more about the history of it. Like and for me, like going to Greece, it's like it's just that. It's just like a it's not even like it's more like of a energy thing. It's like I need to go connect there, and that's why the big goal is to move there. It's like I need to go there. I need to feel this, and I always feel life there. Like no matter if it's a shitty day or not, I have like this. There's like this sense of energy. It's like I don't know if it's like from the history or like just knowing that that's my roots. I'm there, and I'm like, I'm in Greece. This is me, you know. And I've traveled the world. I've done like almost like 30 something countries, and I've been to like beautiful, amazing places. But and it's not even being biased because I'm Greek. It's just like the moment I get there, it's just like this like attraction. It's like it's pulling me in. It's like, this is where you belong. It's like, and it's been pulling me there for years, and that's why I've had these like thoughts of like, okay, well maybe I should do the shift and move there. And you're already seeing like a bunch of our friends, like Greek friends, like are moving there. The ones that came here to study, which Theo is one of them. He's been here for what, like 6, 7 years, born and raised in Greece. Came here and he's like, man, like I have to go back. I can't stay here. It doesn't this doesn't feel normal. I'm like, yeah. So like slowly we're all leaving. We're all kind of going there. But yeah, it's so nice just to connecting back to your roots. Like it's so important, especially if like you know you have and you like there's something there. Like why not try and keep that and then try and keep that for your kids and your kids' kids and kids' kids. It's so important, you know what I mean? It's like it's you, it's part of you, right? So and there's so much history there in Greece. Like so many things started from there. It's
Yeah, it's
yeah,
like the
it's
beginning of the West.
right.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, it's so powerful. You'll know when you go to Greece, you can understand,
Yeah.
you get a land now that you can like you get to feel it right away. You'll be, oh, okay, I get what they're talking about.
Yeah, yeah, I'll be out there, July next year. I'm super stoked. Yeah, I've spent, like, a lot of time traveling, you know, but, like, I've never been out to the Europe side of things, and, even just, like, talking about, like, lineage, you know, like, I I like went on such a journey to like find the signals of truth in this world, you know, and it took me such a long time to put together. And like for me, it's like the really like the two big anchors are like ayahuasca and Bitcoin. I feel like if you have those two things, like everything in your life stays aligned to some degree, and you like can't hide in your like bullshit, you know? It's like it's just truth. But it's actually really interesting because my sister, she came out and lived with me for like 2 months at the start of this year. And she ended up like drinking medicine when she came out here. And then also, I just like spoke to her a ridiculous amount about Bitcoin. So, like, now she's like, you know, someone who's drinking ayahuasca and holding Bitcoin, but she's actually going to go and move to Europe, to like the UK, at in like 3 weeks, you know? And I'm super excited to hear like her reflection on what it's like being what would be considered to some degree like our homeland, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's interesting. Talking about Bitcoin and stuff like that, like that is such an interesting path too. Like I've ever since living as a neighbor beside you and hearing talk about it, you know a lot more than I know. But I've been ever since our conversation, I've been going pretty balls deep into it. I won't lie. Yeah,
Deep rabbit hole,
yeah,
man. Like you can
yeah,
keep pulling that tether for a long time, you know? And like I kind of see it the same way, like with like the medicine. Like you go down and like the indigenous down there, there's like the real Yodas, you know, like they really hold the medicine at like a super high level. And like you go and hang out with like some of the Bitcoiners here that are like down in like Dominical, and they're like they were mining Bitcoin in like 2011 on laptops, you know, and it's
mhm,
like the same energy, bro. They're like Yodas. Like they just like
yeah,
understand the impact and the energy of like this thing that's growing quietly in the background. And I kind of see like the price of Bitcoin as like literally the collective consciousness of humanity, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
Like it
It's
dips
so
and I'm
true.
like, yeah, it's like we've taken a step back, you know? And then it
Yeah.
goes up and people are like, oh, they're getting the signal, you know?
Yeah. It's so true, but it's funny because like I started detaching almost like I still followed the value of it as like what it is worth in fiat because I'm still like attached to that system of it and I'm very aware of it. But I've slowly started like dissolving like the aspect of the fiat to it. It's more like just the energy of Bitcoin, and it's actually been a game changer for me because like we've had these conversations like you guys like most of the Bitcoiners they just stack and stack and stack and they like don't even look at the price, just hold. But me, I was always like looking, I'm like, okay, what is it at now? Okay, like where can I enter? Okay, this and this and that. But like I've kind of like pushed away and now it's just like I allocate a certain amount to it and I just boom, 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 keep stacking for God knows when I'm gonna stop. But yeah, no,
Never, right? That's
never, yeah. So like I have such a different perspective of it. I still want to learn more about it because there's I still haven't put my 10,000 hours in, but like it's there's just so much. Like I learned something new. I'm like, holy shit, this goes a lot deeper. Like, yeah, I gotta go. So I'm just like podcast every day and yeah, learning.
yeah. Oh man, I went through such a deep rabbit hole, you know, in like 2020. I'd like already kind of like been around like the crypto space. Like I got in at like 2017-ish, you know. But just living in like this house on Vancouver Island during the pandemic, and like we were all just obsessed. We'd be listening to podcasts for like 12 hours a day, and then we'd all just like come back to the dining table at night and just like fucking spitting all the codes of like what this thing is, you know? And like it's like navigating life is hard, right? Because like you start to find these like signals of truth, and at least for me, it's like every time I like learn more, it's like I know I have to act in a more integral way, in like the way in which I show up and the way in which I make money, you know? And now it's like so cool that this opportunity for me is opened where like my salary is fully in Bitcoin now, you know? I almost don't even interact with fiat at all. I pay my rent. I like orange pilled my landlord, so now I don't even like do the exchange with like Bitcoin Jungle where he's receiving colones. Like I'm peer to peer Bitcoin to him now for my rent, you know? And then also like living in Costa Rica, it's like you can just use Bitcoin everywhere because there's such easy off ramps, you know? So like I like don't even touch fiat, you know?
That's crazy. It's like it's already here and people don't even know it. Like it's like the standard eventually. It's cool to see that like people are already like just full blown Bitcoin and they're not even touching fiat like yourself. Like that's it's here already. Like
It's here. It's actually here. And like the thing is, like you do have to make moves, you know what I mean? Like depending on how hardcore you want to go. Like it'd be very hard to live in Canada, I think, like on a on a Bitcoin standard. Yeah. But like, man, you come to Costa Rica, easy. You go to like El Salvador, it's already legal tender. You know? You literally go into like McDonald's and Starbucks there and you pay with Bitcoin.
yeah, it's crazy. It's coming everywhere. It's gonna be like that everywhere. And I think it's coming a lot faster than we think.
For sure, for sure. And I really don't know like the adoption's going to be so strange, right? Because you're just not going to see like the West being the first movers because like they're so
Mhm.
heavily like incentivized to keep the fiat system going. So like
Yeah.
Australia and Canada and the US and like the EU, they're going to be the last to adopt it. So you're just going to have this like mass migration of like all the like intelligent people who understand the signal of Bitcoin just leaving, you know? And they're all
Yeah.
going to start building up countries like Costa Rica and El Salvador, and they're going to be like the next superpowers of the world, which is just bizarre.
Yeah.
Like El Salvador's
Mhm.
already fucking hooking up volcanoes to Bitcoin miners, you know?
Oh, wow.
Like they're in like massive infrastructure.
They should fucking Greece should jump on it. Greece should just if Greece could be on it, oh, dude, it would be awesome living there, Bitcoin standard, drinking some medicine, even bring the medicine out there.
For sure. There's such a spirit of rebellion, the Greeks. Like I didn't quite understand. And it's like now I'm like more attached to what's happening because of like you and Marcos and stuff. And and it's just like every time something goes wrong, the Greeks are just like, nah, fuck this, I'm not doing it, you know? Like riot.
Yeah, yeah, it's exactly that. And we speak up. It's not like here in Canada, it's like, oh yeah, okay, I'll do it. Whatever you tell us. Down there's like, nah, fuck you, man. Like, who do you think you are? Doesn't mean you run our country, that you're in charge here. It's so different. And that's why I love it there. It's like people actually speak up, and they put their voice out and by action, not just by like blah 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 phones and stuff like by action. Like, no, we're not doing it. That's you don't want us? Okay, we're gonna start a riot and like full blown riot. Like I'm not a fan of violence, but like a good riot is nice, you know.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I mean, to some degree, like it feels necessary, you know, where like I think like you can't really pull it off in certain places, but like when the culture is kind of like wrapped around that like the people do have power, like it just runs on a different system to some degree. And like one of the big reasons why I really wanted to leave Australia was like, you know, as like my consciousness expanded and I've learned Bitcoin and I've like begun to understand who I am in the world around me more, the more I realized like the like insidious nature of some degree of like the matrix, you know, of how it's like trying to control us. And I was down in Bolivia and it just exploded while I was there. Like I was just literally staying in a hostel and then there was a rigged election and overnight the whole country rioted. And there was like tens of thousands of people out on the street trying to like bring everything back into like an actual natural homeostasis. And I'm like out there in the crowds and they're like being super nice to me. Like it wasn't dangerous at all. They were like, "I'm sorry you're here, but like we got to do this." You know? And I was like, "Fucking send it," you know? They were like pulling politicians out of buildings, like shaving their heads in the street, like all this shit, you know? And like all the highways were shut down with like these massive piles of like burning rubber tires and garbage and everything. And one night I was like out in the crowd while they were like singing and chanting down like in the capital city La Paz. And all of a sudden, like the ocean of people just starts like shifting. And I was like, oh, what's going on here? And everyone starts like running away from like this certain area. And I'm just like in the crowd, no idea what's going on. And then I'm like looking, I'm like, what's going on? And then I see like the SWAT all roll up and they're like shooting tear gas like into the crowd. So then, like, I'm just in the middle of fucking Bolivia, just like running down the road, like trying to get back to my hostel. And I remember at that point, I'd like already like made plans of like moving to Canada to like be with Emily, and I was like trying to find like somewhere to kind of go and live. And then like the next day, I'm like on a call with this guy, seeing if like I'm a good fit to go and volunteer on his farm. And he was like, "What's that sound in the background?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm in Bolivia and they're riding right now. They're letting off dynamite."
The guy must have been, what the fuck is going
The
on?
fuck? But it was like it
uh,
became so clear to me that like as someone who grew up in Australia, like there is no way Australians would ever do that, you know?
mhm.
So like the powers that be, no matter how far they push the overreach and the control, there is there is no escaping it, you know?
Yeah.
And that for me was like, okay, I need to think about like making a shift of like where I am in the world.
And it's the same thing here too in Canada. I think it's very similar to Australia. Like every time I go to Australia, I feel like it's just Canada, but in a more tropical place, I guess. But yeah, just that mindset that's here, it's just such in a box, I find. It's just, yeah. And like you were saying, the experience of Bolivia, like that would happen in Greece too. It's the exact same shit. We're gonna speak up, like we don't like it, and like no, you're not gonna tell us what to do, you know? It's but I feel like we should be more like that, you know? Like it's just like I said, I'm not like a fan of violence, but I mean like sometimes like just pushing those limits a bit, it's like what you need to see change, you know? So
Mhm, mhm. Yeah. And like I'm not a fan of violence either, but like the whole political thing, it's such bullshit, you know? And like if I had to put myself in a camp, like I'm an anarchist. It's like I don't believe anyone should be telling me what to do. And like now people think like anarchy means violence, but it's not. It's just like I want no rulers, you know? Like just let the people be free. And I think when we look at like governments and like kingdoms and monarchs and everything, it made sense to have them. Like when we're going back 1,000 years, 2,000 years, I don't even really understand timelines anymore to some degree. I'm like, the earth being 200 years old at this point wouldn't even really surprise me. Um, but the role of the kingdom was to maintain the safety so that there wasn't raiders, so like you'd pay your taxes as like if you got raided, like the army would step in and protect you, you know and like I understand that concept, but now it's like they're everywhere. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you like sell something to your friend, it's like, well, you should probably be paying tax on that. And it's like, oh, tax this, tax that, all these rules and regulations versus like just people living, like I honestly believe like people baseline good, you know like there's a few characters out there that are like up to no good, and I would say majority of them are actually not out there trying to cause harm. They're actually the ones in the government at this point. And like I will never live in like the West again for the rest of my life, because the whole idea that you can vote your way out of this bullshit is just like it's bullshit. Like the only vote I have is like where I plant myself in the world. And like now with what's accessible to us, like I can make an income anywhere in the world. All I need is like a laptop and a phone. So like why would I even live in Australia or in Canada where I'm like taxed so heavily and the cost of living is so high? If you make a US salary in Costa Rica, you're a god. You know what I mean? Or like even in like Peru, you're a god.
hence that is why I'm trying to create the game plan out of here.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
had a good first attempt. It didn't quite stick, but that's
Yeah,
okay. The
yeah,
next one I think will be
yeah.
good.
Yeah, the next one would be good. Fuck.
Yeah. This life, man, it's so hard to navigate. And I can see how so many people just feel like stuck, you know? And like, thank God I've had so many like amazing teachers. And like, we've shared a mentor, and just amazing, and like the
Mhm.
medicines and everything bringing us back to like what it actually means to be human.
Yeah. And it's so cool too, because then like you actually appreciate your experience, the human experience, a lot more, and you actually get to play it as the player and not like lost in, I guess, the mind or whatever it is. And that appreciation also has brought me like having fun with it. Like I literally take it like I'm playing Grand Theft Auto right now. Like it's like I'm having fun with it, you know? Like I'm like exploring new things. Like I'm more receptive of information coming in and like taking what I need and like adapting to what I have to. Um it's just made life so much more fun, and at the same time it just brings that awareness and that presence, and you're actually like really in the moment than how I used to live, which, man, I couldn't see myself going back to that. Like I feel like it was just a blip, all gone. Now I'm actually like, playing the game. Before I was just, I don't know what I was.
I that's it. I actually didn't know what I was. That was actually the question that I was like trying to answer, you know?
Yeah, it's such a beautiful thing. Once you get those answers, it's like, it's kind of like what we're doing with our retreats too. We're just trying to show people like, this is who you are. Like all this other stuff is just construct of anything. It's like, this is who you are. Now take that, empower. Yeah.
Run me through the offering and what you're working on.
Yeah. So basically at Naos, we right now we run like local retreats. Eventually we want to do like international everywhere, and Greece is one of the locations. Basically, it's right now we're doing it just for men. I feel like there's not enough men's retreat out there, and like with all the social conditioning and all these like programs and everything, I feel like there's a lot of men like that I speak to. Like from the outside, they look like they have everything, but from the inside, when you see like inside them, they're so empty, and like there's a lot of them are noticing it too, and they're like, man, like I have all this success, but I feel disconnected. I don't feel human no more. Like it's just not me. So basically, like our retreats, we keep them pretty exclusive. We're very selective of who we bring, and we like bring 10 men, kind of keep them more like personalized. And then like throughout the weekend, we do like contrast therapy, meditation workshops, breathwork workshops, and then we have dinners together. We're all lodged together, and then the one night, the Saturday night, we do a planned ceremony. We serve psilocybin. And yeah, like it's just like a build up to that ceremony. So like we kind of teach them that like, okay, yeah, breath work is good, but like once you start using it as a crutch, because I need breath work because I'm anxious, this and that. Now it's just another crutch. Same thing with like contrast therapy, cold plunge. Oh, I'm feeling stressed. I need to go cold plunge. Well, what? You're gonna be at work and bust out a fucking ice bath and take a cold plunge in your office? No, you can't do that. You could if you wanted to, but it's like it doesn't make sense. So we're like teaching them how to use it as tools, how to explore the mind, how to explore self, and at the same time it's kind of like down regulating their whole system, so we're trying to get them out of their mind. So, and a lot of them it's like their first time, they've never worked with psilocybin or psychedelics, so it kind of like brings the whole picture together so that when they sit in ceremony, like they show up like ready, in tune with themselves, and when they take the medicine, it's like they have like this great experience, as we all know. But yeah, it's just been beautiful. Like we've been running quite a bit now, and just seeing the breakthroughs of the guys what coming out of there, like, and even like the follow up, because we kind of follow up with them as their journey continues. It's just so beautiful to see like these like hardcore, like very ego minded, like business guys, like relationships falling apart at home because all they know is work, 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 and then they come out and they're like, holy fuck, like I feel human, like I have emotions, I have this, I have that, and they start understanding their minds, how it operates, and they start like almost like taking the veil right off, and just seeing the shifts in them is just beautiful. And like we have like, ah, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's just like it's like firefighting. We don't bring people back quite often. Like when you bring somebody back from a heart attack, it's like, whoa, I literally just saved this guy's life. And it's like this feeling, it's like it's hard to explain, but that's what it feels like. It's like we're giving them the key, because we're not doing all this work for them. It's like we're just holding space for them. We're like just holding space, a space, safe space where they could come do the work in themselves, and we're offering them the key, the cheat code. Take it, and, and then you could just see them have that shift on their own, and then they start changing their things on their own too, without even us telling them to do stuff. And then we start guiding them and giving them like tips, things that have worked with us. Um, and yeah, it's Beautiful work. It's honestly amazing. Yeah, it honestly doesn't even feel like obviously it's like we're like turning it kind of into a business, but it doesn't even feel like a business because we're not even looking at the money aspect part because it's just we remember when we had that breakthrough and we're like, fuck, like everybody needs this. Everybody needs to see this. And then just seeing those people, like every retreat is the same thing. We stand beside each other, we look at them, we're like, wow, man, we're actually doing this. Like we're literally people are actually unlocking themselves right now. They're just like opening up, and it's like that feeling. It's like bring somebody back alive. It's like you've been asleep, dead this whole time, and now you're here. Like you're alive. I can see it. I can see like the kid in you. I can see the smiles. I can see like the happiness, the joy, the everything. And it's like, yeah, it's really like bringing somebody back alive. It's so beautiful.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. It's unbelievable work, man. And like you and your boys, like you hold such good space and like you're the perfect people for like people to like really be introduced to this and make step forward, you know? It's unreal. Yeah. What does the company name mean? It's Greek, right?
Yeah, it's Greek. So the word naos means temple. So basically, we're working on our temple, right? Because eventually, like our retreats, we want to like kind of like post retreat to like people that really want to make a shift and like like want to start integrating like like the training programs, like diets and stuff like that. They really want to like elevate their whole human experience. It's like that's kind of like our that what right here, elevate your human experience. It's our slogan. We're trying to fix the mind, the spirit, and the body at the same time. It's like the tripod, right? And eventually, like that's what we want to include in like our post retreats. But yeah, it's 30 now means temple in Greek, and like you're working on your temple. It's like find it, find where you come from.
Mhm. Oh, it's so beautiful, man. There's just something about like these medicines where I feel like to me, like this whole idea of like spiritual growth, it just it's honestly just like giving people more choice and more free will. Like free will's crazy, man, you know? I remember like I remember reading this thing on Reddit and this guy was like, I've just been like really bored in my life and like I didn't really know what to do. And so I just started like going out and just like fighting people in like bars and pubs and stuff. And then like I just like found this one guy and like now I just go and fight him like every week. And my life's like crazy, but like it's so much more interesting now. And the top comment is just like free will's crazy, you know? Like like and like the comedy skits, you know, of like people having a ladder and it's like you can go anywhere with a ladder. You know, like you can walk straight into a cinema with a ladder and everyone's just like, yeah, just go through, just go through. You know, you go into like a fancy restaurant, it's like, yeah, where do you need to go? Just go through, just go through. He's just like walking through the kitchen with a ladder and he has no business being there. And it's like we all have the capacity to like do this free will, you know, and to like express our own free will and our choices. And these like invisible leashes of all these shoulds and this like conditioning and everything, we completely lose that, you know, and we become this like product of the world around us versus like us showing up into the world and like experiencing it from like our point of view, our perspective, what we want to do, our curiosities, you know. And I can see how like the work you're doing now, you're basically just like handing people that present, you know.
Yeah, literally, that's what it is. That's what it feels like. Yeah. That's literally what it feels like. It's exactly that feeling. But it's so beautiful because in the same time we learn so much more about people and by doing that it learns more about ourselves. And it's like it's just like a non-stop growing like energy field. It's like it just keeps growing and getting bigger and like and then you just walk around like differently. It's just yeah, it's so beautiful.
Mm. Yeah, it's awesome seeing you like, you know, put down the staff and like holding that beacon, you know, like turning all that medicine that you've accumulated like into helping other people because that's what it's really about at the end of the day, you know.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So you've just had a nephew. You have a new nephew. What's that experience been like?
That's so fun. It's so funny because it's such a little creature that knows nothing but wants to learn everything. You know what I mean? It's like us as adults we're like built with all these programs and everything from like living experience and stuff like that. But this thing is like fresh, like right out of the oven, you know? And it's just trying to like assimilate everything, experience everything. And it's just so cool seeing like now that I understand all this stuff, like looking at it, experiencing it all. I'm like, wow, this is so beautiful seeing this. Like it's touching new feelings, new this, new food. Um, and it's just been so fun. It's just like he's full of energy too. He's always full of smiles. He's like Jamie almost. They're like very similar. He's gonna be a stun dummy. Like he's gonna be doing like adrenaline shit all the time. You can see it already. He's having fun. Like I when he wears his onesie, I just pick him up like this and I like drag him around the house and he's like laughing and shit. It's just so much fun. Yeah, it's been so much fun, and they live like right upstairs too. They have an apartment upstairs, and like I see the kid like almost every day. So it's just cool seeing like how he's growing up, but also like from my sister's perspective and Jamie's perspective, and then like me being the cool uncle. Yeah, I playing around with him and like see him. Like I'm already bullying him a bit. I'm like, yo, where's my money? Where's my money? He looks at me, he laughs, and he points. I'm like, oh yeah, you want to point? Where's my money? So no, it's just been so much fun with him. It's so beautiful to see that.
Yeah. I know, like, I hadn't, like, spent that much time around, like, young kids, like, as an adult, and then, like, when my mentor had a kid, I was just, like, being around that transition of, like, 0 to 2, it's wild to watch, man. And, like, one of the things I love witnessing is, like, how quickly they are to express emotions as well. Like, such a teacher for me, where it's like it's so natural to do that, yet all of us, like, try to run this, like, baseline of, like, not much going on.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because actually now he's starting to cry and like, well, cry. I mean, like cry for a reason. Like if you want something or like if he needs a mother hug, like from my sister, and like he started like detecting all that, and it's so cool how they actually express themselves, and you can actually see it all. It's like, yeah,
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, unreal, man. I'm, like, super excited for you to keep on that journey, and, like, your family's so cool, and, like, your relationship with your family is so cool. Yeah, kinda, like, maybe just to, like, wrap this thing up, if there was anything that, like, you could share as, like, a message back to, like, 18-year-old Steven, like, what's that signal that you'd love to just give to him?
yeah. Wow, that's a good one. I'm trying to picture myself at 18, what I was state I was at, but the message I would give myself at the age of 18 is, hmm, if only you knew who you would become. Because I remember state of my life. I was really like doubtful of ever am I ever gonna make it to what I want to become. And this is like right before becoming a firefighter too. Like it's such a competitive job too, and it was like almost impossible to get hired. And I started questioning everything. And like when I started questioning that, I started questioning everything about myself. And I like was really like doubtful. Like I had like no confidence. I was like kind of like, oh fuck, I'm never gonna make it, and this and that. And then now when I look back, it's like I was doing almost like the work that I'm doing now without even knowing it. Because I at one point I just had this shift and I was like believing in myself and like just doing the work, visioning like my future, like I was already there. And it's almost like I collapsed all the timelines together. And but like now I don't realize it until now. Like now I look back, I'm like, holy shit, good job, kid. You made it. Actually, I just did a post on Instagram. I don't know if you saw it there. It's like me climbing the ladder. It's like who you try and impress in your life. And then it's like a picture of myself as a little kid wearing my firefighter helmet and everything. Yeah. So yeah, that would be it.
Yeah, unreal. Alright. Where can people find you?
Find me on social media. I'm more active on Instagram, which is Stavros Giano. So that's Stavros, Stavros, Giano, Gianno _ and then I'm on TikTok as well, but it's mostly on Instagram. I play more, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nice. And when's the next retreat?
We're planning the month of November, but we might actually just push it to next year. People get busy around the holidays, but yeah, like next year we're going hard. We're gonna be trying to run one to a month. That would be the goal. Um, but, but yeah, November should be the next one.
Cool. Unreal. All right. Well, I'll put all your links and stuff below just so people can find them or wherever they're meant to go. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on and chatting with me. It's like I really appreciate your friendship. Yeah, man. It's like just such good vibes.
The conversations have always been good. Even like when I was in Costa Rica, I'm like every Sunday, I'm like, let's go talk with Matt at dinner. Such beautiful conversations all the time, like so interesting, so much to learn, and it's yeah, so much fun.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Yeah, really appreciate it. Okay. Thanks everyone for listening. Yeah, that's it. All my relations.
My relations. Peace.
Thanks so much for tuning in. I really hope you enjoyed the show. If you did enjoy the show, don't forget to like and subscribe below. It really helps a growing channel like this out. And click up here, it'll take you to a collection of the best this podcast has to offer.